Monster RX93.1 presents All Out, your daily morning pick-me-up. All out hits, all out celebrity interviews, all out sports and showbiz news. Your hosts, Rico and Karla Aguas.
We're not there. I hate
How did you guys get, Judy Ann and Ryan, how did you get started in cooking? I know I used to see photos of you when you were taking culinary classes. Kalasi mo pa na si Beth Tamayo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw photos of you. So how did you get started? Paano mo sabi, okay, time for me, magluto ako?
Actually, it was at the time na, alam mo yon yung feeling mo kailangan mong may gawing na iba pa apart from your profession. Parang I wanted to we had Johanna at that time. Brian and I were just dating. And then I was telling him I wanted to study abroad or study like makeup or prosthetics kasi I want to learn something new. Kasi iniisip ko at that time paano pagka mas matanda na ako and then hindi na ako kinukuha ng mga producers to act. I have to have a backup plan. At 26?
Yeah, we were in our mid-20s at that time. What, 25, 26?
26. I was already thinking of what else can I do pa ba apart from acting. Kasi that's the only thing I know to earn money. Parang I was looking for like, ano yung English nun? Yung gusto ko ng mas basta lang na nila yun.
You wanted to reinvent.
Yes.
Reinvent.
There was a time in our lives where we were in our mid-20s. We were doing pretty okay. She was really at the peak of her leading lady powers at the time. I was hosting, and we just wanted to explore. At the time, I was also heavily into photography. I was a working professional already at the time as a photographer, and she wanted to learn something new. And so we had this wine talk. You know how wine talks go, right?
Yeah.
So. I came back from work. I went back to the hotel. We were in Mindanao. We were in Davao.
Yeah.
And I came back, and she was really in deep thought. And she was like, "Bob, I wanna study." And she wanted to do prosthetics and makeup. And I was thinking.
Yun ang uso nung time na yun, di ba? Yung uso, people doing makeup, schools.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she would have been excellent at doing that. But I was thinking selfishly, dude. I was like, "Oh man. You gotta learn how to cook."
Or else you're gonna put makeup on me.
Why don't you learn something na alam mo nang gawin and just enhance it? Or you just deepen your education or yung skill mo in that form. Kasi sige, so pagbalik namin ng Manila, I went to a couple of culinary classes and ended up at CACS, kay Chef Jean. Because I needed to get a class that would fit my schedule. But I ended up not working for 6 months to finish the whole course in 6 months. So that's an intensive culinary class that I took. Sometimes we'd start at 8 a.m. and end at 12 midnight.
Wow!
Ganon siya ka-intense. And then I realized, ito pala talaga yung gusto ko kasi even if after the classes, pag susunduin ako ni Ryan, pagod na pagod ako. Non-stop talk ako kahit ang baho ko, may bagoong ako. I keep on talking about my experience for the whole day. So doon din sinabi nila na madaldal ka pala kapag pagod ka.
And then, tsaka yung energy rin kasi ni Chef Jean when he teaches, di ba? He's very enthusiastic. He's very, di ba? So,
yes, oo.
So you get really excited.
Rock and roll chef siya.
Yeah.
But when you love something, even if you're so tired or when you're so into something, kahit pagod na pagod ka, you'll really talk about it. You'll want to share everything you've learned, what you experienced on that day, di ba? Parang like what to do better. So, ang galing naman. So, it was more like a wine talk that turned into a, sige, let's try it. And then it ended up being another one of your passions, no? Because I mean, you're a fantastic actress. I think we all know that by now. And now you're like this amazing cook. So it's like, wow, fair ba talaga si Lord? Kaya dito.
binibigyan ko lang ng instructions si Ryan kung paano
Uy!
So are you using a stovetop grill? Is that what you guys are using?
I have in my kitchen, I have one section that's griller. And I have burners. Dati meron ako dito, parang skillet. And I don't normally use it na. So I changed it na lang to another burner. Kasi mas kailangan to siya because my pots are big. When I do the master sauce at Angry Double here, because dito namin siya ginagawa, yung master sauce. And that's pots and pots of marinades. Kailangan ko na malaking space. I had to change it.
If you guys haven't checked it out, Angry Adobo, they do got a restaurant that is it's something that's new. I saw it on Instagram. We've probably seen it on Instagram. Grabe Saan located your restaurant nyo?
Your first restaurant is in TAP.
Okay.
In front of LaSalle. The other one is in Westgate. But of course, unfortunately, because of our quarantine, both restaurants are closed. But we are finding ways on how to be able to serve during quarantine. Inisip lang namin kung paano kami magiging superhero at this point.
Diba, you gotta...
Pagkala yung mga pagkain na hindi kami nahihirapan or hindi na nagkakasakit. But yeah, pretty much everybody's thinking about that now.
Yeah, what happened was...
Kaya ni Cristala yan.
Si Cristala, mabigat na hindi na kaya lumipad.
Lilipad si Cristala, di ba? So you're gonna get to, so you're grilling.
Yeah, so the chicken's on the grill now, and I'm just waiting for instructions on when to flip it. Kasi marunong.
Ilang minutes yan? Ilang minutes? When you guys grill or fry chicken, how many minutes does it take before you could...
In frying, like for the fries, of course, all kids love fried chicken. So I make it, later mga 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay.
You fry, it takes at least about 10 minutes on each side, depends on the cut of the chicken.
So 10 minutes.
But yung deep fry talaga siya.
Okay.
Now, gagawin ko na yung picadillo soup ni Luna. Dahil nga si Madam hindi makakain ng walang
Madam talaga.
She's the boss. She's General Luna all the way.
Oh, that's so witty. I love that. Yeah, but she's so adorable. So you're kind of just like, oh no.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that of course it's unfortunate that we're all in lockdown and we all have our troubles daily. But that's one thing we realized that we're blessed with with kids that are by nature really good kids. So we're lucky, and I'm sure the parents out there appreciate this time because usually at this time I'm at work, he's at work, we get home by sunset. The additional 8 hours together really spells a lot of difference with their development, and we're getting to know them really intimately, one by one. Like over the weekend, we got kicked out because we got kicked out of the den because Johan camped out for 48 hours in our den because she was watching this Korean music festival, and
wow,
it was
so cute.
I mean, she's 15. We were saying, let her be. Just bring her the food. Just bring her the food because we're lucky that her first music festival, she's actually at home.
Yes, I was gonna
Not
say
wondering where she is, what's happening. So, you roll with the punches in these times. And
yung Coachella niya naging Coachella.
Exactly.
Diba? Coachella.
And bawal maingay as in we were literally getting kicked out every time we'd like fuss over like, hey sweetheart, how you doing? She's like, get out.
teenage angst. There's teenage angst there. Like, parents, just let me be for 48 hours. This is all I ask. This is all I want. I think we all remember that time where, for us, diba, that was our world. Like, let me be. You don't understand this moment. But you know what they say, when you have really good kids, it's also a reflection of how you guys are as parents. And I think, honestly, like, I've spoken to you guys for like 30 minutes. All the fans that are commenting here, everyone can agree. You guys are really such good people. Like, you're genuinely kind. You're very, very hands-on with how you raise your children.
Alam ko hands-on.
Hands-on. Judy Ann, you're very beautiful. Ryan, hands-on tayo. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, I mean, hello. Like I was saying earlier, it's unfair na nga eh. Parang like, God, salamat sa pagiging fair. But it's true. I think because you guys are also so intentional with how you raise your children, they are growing up to be fine young men and women. I think that's fantastic. And that's something that a lot of people can learn from, especially during this quarantine time. Because you were saying, Ryan, parents take this kahit paano. It's not so much that you're taking it for granted, but you have to roll with the motions of life eh. You have work, papasok ka, di ba? You have things that you need to do outside the house, you will leave. Whereas now, all the parents are really stuck with their children at home. It's a great time to be able to get to know your kids in a different way you're in.
Yeah, it's fantastic when we get to talk to our friends or parents also. The amount of time being spent, there's bound to be good coming out of the fact that the families are rendered together 24/7. There's bound to be good, and we just wanna make the most out of this time. For sure, this is one of those things that as we move forward, we're gonna look back, and of course, we learn from the hardships, but then we grow from the fantastic time spent together.
Hey, sa inyo naman dalawa, with you guys being together 24/7, ano yung mga bagay that you learned from each other na bago, na parang, ay, hindi ko nakita to ah. May, ano pala to, na parang, what are those things?
You wanna go first?
I love the laugh eh. It's loaded with fun. Here we go.
Wait, babalik ako yung mga manok ha.
Yung parang hindi mo pala alam.
Well, paano ko ba sisimulan to? May nga wine. White wine naman, umaga naman. Anyway, I think it's very important for couples to really communicate, especially at this time. Kasi you have to tell each other what you feel. Ano yung fears nyo, at the first part of the quarantine kasi I was busy-busyhan. Yung marami kang gustong gawin, you're trying to keep yourself busy, you want your mind to always think, para alam mo yon, marami kang feeling mo, ang dami mo dapat i-achieve, and busy ka on the supplies and everything, and I forgot to communicate to Rai, yung na hindi ko napapansin that I am not communicating anymore. So Ryan had to tell me, and I had to listen, and I really had to listen and understand where he's coming from. And may point naman ng bonggang-bongga talaga na I was busy, making myself busy, that I thought I was doing them a favor, and I was serving them, when in fact na I was actually not being responsible as a wife, as a mom, as a person, kasi hindi ko sila napapansin, hindi ko sila nakakausap. Galaw lang ako ng galaw.
Wow, so, our therapist is so proud right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, Juday kind of hit the nail right there on the head, because the first week the problems are real. Of course, the ECQ just enhances your time thinking about it. So the first week we were busy outwardly, thinking about the businesses, the people who are working with us, and we were sharing a space, but we weren't actually, at the end of the day, communicating what was going on in their minds and their hearts. So we really sat down and came up with a battle plan. And really, the most important person for now is next to you. So make sure they're okay, and then that's when you can be of service to everyone outside of your home. So it's kind of what we established earlier on. So it's been smooth sailing since. Knock on wood.
Parang ano siya, no? Parang a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, di ba? Nung araw, you know, the pyramid, di ba?
Yes.
So the first week, para bang physical, what do you call that? Safety needs, yung mga ganun. As it goes to the triangle, no? Just
Yeah, as corny as it may sound, you kind of have to put order in your mind and your heart. So it's really the only way to cope. Nobody made the rules or wrote the rule book for this, and we're just winging it as we go along.
Wow, galing.
Love them. I love them so much. By the way, Jobel over on Facebook Live is saying, is it time to flip the chicken? Ryan, chicken
Yeah, for those listening, you can hear us live on the radio, and also you can check out the videos on Facebook Live. We have Ryan Agoncillo, Judy Ann Santos-Agoncillo, the Agoncillos are joining us. They're giving us this Monster exclusive live from their own kitchen at their home. They are preparing a feast for us. What Judy Ann is cooking now is actually beef and broccoli.
It's okay.
Ryan is grilling the 5-spice chicken, and now she's at the picadillo with macaroni and Thai fried rice. These are the things you can actually cook at home. Matututunan nyo yan here while you're listening. You get to watch it on facebook.com/RX931.
Woo! Ang usok!
Yeah, walang exhaust kasi maririnig sa microphone.
Patapos na yung picadillo, so I just sauteed onions, carrots, ground pork, potatoes, and red bell pepper, a bit of salt, a bit of soy sauce and pepper with a bit of nice sugar syrup. And then I will now add my beef broth. You can make your own beef broth at home, or you can just buy the ones in the box. Hindi na magawa ng beef broth, kaya lang mahal yung buto-buto. At saka it takes a lot of space in our freezer. So, ganito na lang. It's organic beef broth. Or you can just use bouillon cubes and then hot water for
So we learned something new with just buying the broth or the cubes. It saves space. Kasi yung freezer nga, yung buto-buto, ilalagay mo pa yun if your freezer is not as big as a standard
that's for,
freezer.
syempre for mga people who lives in a
condo or
small space.
Yeah.
Pero syempre, ideally, I'd always prefer the ones that you make at home. Kasi you know how that's clean, you know it's healthy kasi ikaw ang gumawa. And you can make a big batch, lagay lang sa what's that plastic ice
sa yellow. Yeah.
Yun, sa ice bag. And then pop it lang sa freezer. Tapos lalabas ka lang pa isa-isa kung ilan lang yung kailangan mo. Pero naka-measure na siya like 1 cup per ice bag. So at least alam mo na yung measurement niya pag dilabas mo. You don't have to take everything out and throw everything.
Learning something new.
Bakit? Bakit? Hindi ko nakikita. I can see. Kung magtanong ka kasi Rico, alam na mo yung ginagawa ko eh.
Yeah, I'm learning. I mean, still with the quarantine then.
You don't understand, Judy. He was telling me right before we called you guys, I'm so excited, Karla. This is it. And I'm just like, okay, relax, play it cool, bro. Broadcaster ka. Play it cool.
I was telling Karla from Ula to Mula sa Puso from before because Direk Gwen was telling me, a real superstar, when they enter a camera frame, the world stops. So when you're watching movies, she was like, that's a superstar. He was telling me, man. I was like, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Send na daw the beef with broccoli. He'll send you daw his address. Pakisend daw. Somebody's asking on Facebook Live, as a family, this is from Weng, what's your favorite dish to eat all together? Or yung tipong your favorite thing to cook na everybody enjoys eating?
Oh, what a tough question.
Based off of this Facebook Live, Judy Ann, you're making different dishes, diba? Kasi you all have different tastes. But is there a particular dish that you can make or Ryan makes that the entire family enjoys, naman?
Recently, it's always Korean food.
Korean?
Bulgogi, because Lucia loves beef, and then which is easier for me kasi madali na maglabas ng pagkain. Luna naman is the japchae person. Johan naman is everything Korean. Bigyan ko nga siya ng placement na Korean Feeling ko kangat-ngatin niya yun.
Yeah, it's lately Korean nights have been very popular with the family. There was a week where where the kids requested food from different places. So there's American night, there's Italian, there's Japanese, there's Korean, there's Chinese. So Korean's been popular. It's heavy on the rotation.
That's a nice idea. That's a great idea, especially for families. Like you have themed nights for dinner, for lunch. Because that also makes it easier for the parents, for you guys, to prepare the stuff, diba? Kasi you know na what to do on that day.
Of course, that's themed nights. Pero ang nagdidictate nun kung ano yung mga tira-tira the night before.
Yun yung inihintay ng lahat no? Yung international night, yung tira-tira ng mga different countries all in one.
Call it UN. It's UN night, United Nations night. Ayan, we have everything. They don't go together but push. Now, I love that night. I love that you always insert the practicality aspect because that's hilarious. Someone's actually asking here, Jack over on Facebook Live. I think you can both answer this. With the kids around all day now, every single day you're all together, how do you guys like to spend quality time together? Like, do you have a specific, like, okay, Han, let's Netflix binge watch tonight? Like, what do you guys like to do para you as a couple also have quality time?
Well, paano nga ba?
Takas-takas na lang.
Okay, ba't may mga topic?
No, early on.
Ano?
Takas-takas na lang.
Takas-takas na lang. Para-paraan, you know?
Yeah, true. If there's a way, there's a way.
No, because early on, when we were right when the lockdown was announced, we established ground rules. We spoke to the kids and we were explaining to them slowly that it's kind of like a war scenario where our resources are very limited. So when we talk about resources, it's food, it's electricity, it's water. So doon pumasok yung okay, we plan yung oras ng ligo, di ba? Kasi kailangan magtipid sa tubig. And then even the air conditioners, because what we do as a rule is that we only turn on the air conditioner sa isang kwarto if there are 3 or more family members.
Wow, that's economical. That's good.
Yeah, kasi the tendency is to, of course, you have to have alone time. I mean, even kids have to have their alone time. What happens is pag in the afternoon, pag mga usually nung una magkakalas-kalas, diba? In their own rooms. But that kind of dictates the tempo. Like if it's air conditioner time for the whole family, and then you give them incentives like, hey sweetheart, today why don't you go play in Kuya Lucho's room, all 3 of you, and have alone time with the siblings. So medyo papara-paraan ka niyan, diba? and then hey guys, at night, hey, we've been up late the past few nights. Why don't you guys go to sleep early? The subtext is that mom and dad will go and watch Friends reruns,
He's a host talaga. He knows how to phrase it, eh. Yung tipo, kids, how about you do this for you? For your
You gotta sell it.
Gotta give aircon,
I love it.
All Out with Rico and Karla. All Out music and all out fun. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.